Hi everyone, it's Junk here for Hip Kit Club, and today I'm sharing 3 cards that I made using the May 2019 Hip Kits. I used the main kit and the embellishment kit. On the screen you'll see a couple of layered hearts that I made, and I usually make them in every kit that I get using some scraps, and I may or may not use them on my cards today. So I'm going to start off by creating my own rosettes. And I'm using this Pink Fresh Studio paper, and it's cut at about 1¼ inches, and I'm scoring it using my scoreboard at every 1/4 inch. And I got inspired by last month's kit. In the Dear Lizzie sticker pack, there was some rosettes that I really loved, and so I decided to make my own. So you're going to fold it accordion style. You're going to fold it towards you and then away from you. And kind of like if you used to make those paper fans when you were a kid, that's how you're going to fold it. And then you glue the 2 ends together and flatten it out, and then you get like a little rosette. And I find it best to use a glue gun when making these, only because the glue sets immediately. You're going to want to glue down your rosette to a scrap piece of paper. That hexagon is just one that I had on my desk from a previous project. I end up making 3 of these rosettes, and I make them in different sizes. I think I cut down a sheet of paper to 1 inch and another sheet of paper to smaller than 1 inch. And what I was showing you there is I cut out some of the hashtag words from that pattern paper. And now I'm just making my card bases from the cardstock kit. I chose a blue one, this orange one, and the white cardstock. And I cut them down to size to 5½ by 8½ inches, and then I score them at 4¼ and that makes an A2 sized card. I also cut down a couple of pattern paper from the kits, and I cut them down to slightly smaller than the A2 sized. And I'm thinking that I will use these for my background. I'm trying to decide what I want to fill the centers of my rosettes with, and I ended up deciding on some of the hearts that I had die cut from the pattern paper scraps, and those hashtag words that I fussy cut from that pattern paper that I showed you earlier. When I make cards out of scrapbook supplies, it's all about dimension and layers and texture. And unlike my scrapbook layouts, I don't have to worry about how big the dimensional ephemera get, so the bigger the better. However, since these cards tend to get very dimensional, they definitely don't fit in an envelope and probably wouldn't go through the mail very well. So I usually just put it in a gift bag along with a gift, and that way I don't have to worry about an envelope. So just like I do when I make layouts, I try out several different options of cardstock and pattern paper combinations, and it definitely takes me a little bit to find a combination I like. And also, like scrapbooking, I usually end up liking the white cardstock base best. So this rainbow plus sign pattern paper that you see here is a Paige Evans pattern paper, and I really didn't want to cut into it because I like this paper so much, but I have another sheet, so you have to use the supplies you have, right? I will attach this blue pattern paper, which is also Paige Evans, to my card base using fun foam, and I'm just going to cut that down to size and add double-sided tape to both sides of the fun foam, and then attach it to the card base. I am going to attach the rainbow Paige Evans paper to the blue pattern paper using more foam tape, and I'm just going to add some to the top because sometimes I like how it looks when I just add foam tape to the top, and it kind of has like a clipboard effect. Next, I'm going to be gluing down the rosettes, and I really love how these turned out. I really like clustering my embellishments, and I like how they look when they overlap, so I'm going to be attaching this blue rosette using 2 foam circles layered together. And as I mentioned earlier, I made these rosettes by cutting down a 12 by 12 pattern paper. For the pink one, it's a Pink Fresh Studio paper cut down to about 1¼ inches. For the blue one, that's a Paige Evans paper, and I cut it down to 1 inch. And for the rainbow one, that's also Paige Evans, that's slightly under an inch. And now I'm going to be gluing down the hashtag words that I cut out of that pattern paper. One of them says rare and beautiful, another one says seek magic, and the other one says love. I'm going to be using some of the sequins that we got this month in the kits, and I glued down a total of 6 of them that you can see there. And then I decided the top left corner needed a little bit more interest, and when I was fluffing the paper, I saw that the other side of the plus sign paper was orange, and I wanted to bring out some of the orange from the rosette, so I just folded the corner down, and I like how that looks. Okay, for my second card, I'm going to be using this orange card base and this stripe paper that I believe is from Crepe paper. For this card, I had so many different ideas that I wanted to try out, and I kept changing my mind, but I left some of that footage in because I actually like one of the card designs that I had come up with and that I didn't use, and it's this coffee time one. The ephemera pieces are from the Hip Kit Club exclusive ephemera pack, and those chipboard stickers are from the Crepe paper 12 by 12 chipboard sticker sheet. I also decided that I wanted to use some of these bows. They're Hip Kit Club exclusive as well, and I'll show you how to put one together. I usually like to take my bone folder and kind of curl up and manipulate the bow first, and I just find that the bows turn out a little bit prettier. And then you glue the 2 flaps in to make the bow part. And then I glue it down to the tail, and then you just glue down the center portion. And again, these are much easier to make with a glue gun because it sets instantly. I made one the other day with liquid glue, and I had to hold down the pieces for quite a bit before they dried and set. Okay, back to my card. Even though I really liked that coffee time spread that I had on my card, I really wanted to use this Hey Girl chipboard sticker, and so that's what I'm going to go with. For some more texture on the background, I'm going to take this off camera and add some machine stitching. And then just like my last card, I'm going to attach it to the card base using fun foam, and I'm going to cut that down and add double-sided tape to both sides. I will start putting my card together by attaching the pattern paper background, and even though I added texture with machine stitching, I want to add a little bit more by ruffling up the edges and distressing it a bit. Since that chipboard sentiment is so big, there's not a lot of room for more embellishments, but it's hard not to get tempted by all the things. I'm going to start attaching things down using my glue gun. I will end up using another hashtag word, and it says be you. So my sentiment says, hey girl, be you. And I'll glue that right on top of the chipboard. I'm also going to use this die cut heart. So what have you guys been loving from the May 2019 Hip Kits? I usually love the Hip Kit Club exclusives, and I really like the ephemera pack this time around. I made a layout for my 13-year-old daughter, and there were so many current sayings and sentiments that worked really well on my page. So these are the crepe paper sticker sheets. I really love the sketchy look, and I like that holographic sheet with all the little tiny stars and hearts. I know I'm going to use those a ton. I also really like that 12 by 12 pattern paper with all the hashtag words on it. It's a Dear Lizzie paper. When I first saw it, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it, but once I decided to fussy cut all the hashtags out, I know I'm going to get a ton of use out of it. I normally like word stickers anyway, so it's perfect. Okay, so I added 3 of the holographic star stickers, and then I cut off some of the leaves off of the Hip Kit Club exclusive ephemera, and I'm going to glue them to each side of the chipboard. And then I believe to finish off my card, I'm going to glue on 3 sequins. I was so happy to see that we got sequins as a part of the kits this month. The colors are beautiful, they're so shiny, and they're perfect for cards and layouts as well. Okay, on to my last card. I'm going to be using the blue card base and this Pink Fresh Studio paper as the background. I tore the bottom edge and I really like how that looks. I'm going to attach it to the card base with just some foam tape at the top, like I did on my first card. And then when I was trying out that layered heart, that bow, and the chipboard sticker, it was kind of just floating around in space on the background paper, so I wanted something to ground it. This doily is from a couple of color kits back, and I really like the feminine touch it adds to the card. Okay, I'm going to add some glue to the doily and then attach the layered heart that I made, the Hip Kit Club exclusive bow, and that crepe paper chipboard sticker. And then my sentiment is going to be a combination of the Girl Power chipboard sticker, that's crepe paper, and then I'm also going to use some of the hashtag words that I fussy cut out from that pattern paper. If you haven't had a chance to check out the May kits yet, I'll definitely leave a link to them in the info bar below. I know June kits have already been revealed as well, and I can't wait till those start shipping. Okay, so I was thinking that the bottom of this little cluster looked a little empty, and so I'm going to add this purple flower, which is the Hip Kit Club ephemera. And then I tried that other flower, but it was a little bit too big for the spot. So I'm going to look at the sticker sheet and find a smaller flower that works perfectly, and it ties in the pink colors. And then I add a butterfly because why not add a butterfly? I love them. I'm going to finish off my card with 3 more stickers from the crepe paper sticker sheet, and my cards are finished. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the Hip Kit Club website. I'll be sure to leave the links in the info bar below. I hope you like my cards today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.